So we're getting involved in this match. It's the Turin derby with Torino against Juventus. Look at that draw price, 2.94. You don't normally see a draw price below 3. You don't normally see under 2.5 goals starting at around 1.46 or over 1.5 goals. So look, this is expected to be low scoring. We've covered all those low scores, as you can see. We're probably going to have to try and scalp that 0-0 in play as well as some sort of insurance. Anyway, let's see what happens as this develops. So it's half time in this one, and it's 0-0, which is no huge surprise. Just showing you the XG data there, because we're going to refer to that in a minute. But just to show you, look, we've covered that 0-0 during the first half. We scalped that down all the way down to 0. So that puts us in a very good position now for this particular match, because it doesn't look like there's going to be many goals. However, we're expecting 1 goal, at least, to Juventus. So we're going to hang in, looking for that 1 goal. We could cash out for, say, what, £23 of profit there, but we're going to try and hang on for that 1-0 to Juventus and then see what develops. Okay, 1 goal could open the match. But either way, we're covered on that 0-0. So we shouldn't lose if it remains 0-0. Anyway, let's see how the second half develops. We're late in the match on this one. It's still 0-0, and it's probably going to finish 0-0. Okay, so anyway, as you know, we've covered that 0-0. We've taken the insurance on the 0-0. And nothing's happened. No goals have gone in. There's no action to take. We're just going to end up breaking even on this one. So it just shows you what you can do on the correct score market. We took the insurance on the 0-0. We've had that insurance kick in. And a bit of a boring match. We weren't watching it, so no real time lost. But in the end, yeah, it's going to finish probably Torino 0, Juventus 0. And so Torino, Juventus, the 0-0, the match where nothing much actually happened. However, the key takeaway is that it did finish 0-0, and we managed to avoid a loss on a 0-0, which for a lot of football traders is definitely a very positive thing. The 0-0 scenario often being the nightmare scenario for a lot of football traders and a lot of strategies. However, when you're trading on the correct score, it is possible, as you've seen, to have a 0-0 and avoid a loss. However, upon reflection of the trade and looking back on the trade, I mean, all the clues were there that this match could be a potential 0-0. We could see it was a tight matchup with Torino and Juventus. We could see the unders and the under 2.5 goals and 1.5 goals, very low prices. So why didn't we potentially aim for a profit on the 0-0? Okay, why, looking back, maybe should have had some green starting out on the 0-0 scoreline, and we could have potentially built up that green as the match developed. And that is something to keep in mind. However, I would just say it all depends on your trading style. Okay, I'm much more goal positive, so I'd much more prefer to be trading a match where we're going to start to get some goals and we can start to trade the score lines and advance that way, rather than hoping for a 0-0. Okay, there's no worse feeling than a goal goes in and it's not a goal you need. Okay, so it's definitely a fair argument for potentially covering that 0-0. However, remember, say the match kicks off within 5 minutes, let's say Juventus take the lead, suddenly you're regretting back in that 0-0, aren't you? So lots of stuff to keep in mind. And just another little lesson from this particular match, and this is for a lot of people who do follow the channel. And I often say, look, we don't show trades where nothing much happens because it's kind of boring. Okay, it's not going to make for a very good YouTube video. However, apparently people want to see it. So anyway, we've included it, but it's a good lesson for you out there to know that not every match is going to be a spectacular. Not every match is going to be a trading spectacular. You're going to get a lot of matches in football where you're trading where, yeah, nothing much happens. And you could end up, with a 0-0 and you're just kind of sitting around doing nothing, which is why I advocate for trading multiple matches all at once. Okay, you might get one match, which is a complete dud, but to get a whole batch of duds is some incredible bad luck. And of course, don't fit your whole day around the trading. Okay, do whatever you've got to do, and then trade a batch of matches at, say, the end of the day or 3 o'clock on a Saturday, for example. So anyway, that was Torino, Juventus. The less said about that match, the better. A 0-0 draw in the end. And as said earlier, if any of this correct score trading looks interesting to you, you want to learn more about it, make sure you get this free download. It's the Correct Score Mastery course prospectus. This will show you how you could potentially take things to the next level with your correct score trading. To get this free ebook, the link is in the description of this video. Just scroll below the video, click on it, fill out the form, and then we'll email the book to you. If you're on a big screen, you can scan that QR code and then fill out the form, and we'll email you the book also. Okay, it's absolutely free, and it will be the next step towards potentially learning and mastering the correct score market. So if you've liked anything you've seen today and you do want to learn more about it, then that's the next thing to do. Okay, go grab a copy of that. As said, link in the description, or scan the QR code. And what you've just seen was actually just a clip, and we've got plenty more where that came on. So the video on the screen right about now should direct you to the full video where you can get more information, see more live trades, more analysis, how they played out, etc, etc. So go click on that video, and we will see you in that next video. It's highly recommended. Go check it out.